Sairam students, welcome back. Today we are going to learn History, 7th chapter, India during the Maurya period, part 1. Before that, let's take a short recap what we have learned in our previous session. We have learned 6th chapter of History, Janapadas and Mahajanapadas. In it, we had learned Janapadas, Mahajanapadas, rise of the Magadha Empire. Okay, and now we are going to start with the Greek Emperor Alexander's invasion. Now students, what is invasion? Invasion means the act of the entering a place by force is known as invasion. So the Greek Emperor Alexander's invasion. The first point, Alexander the Greek Emperor invaded India's northwestern frontier in 326 BC. Crossing the Indus-Sindhu river, he reached Takshashila. So by crossing the Indus means Sindhu river, Alexander reached Takshashila. Alexander was the Greek emperor and he invaded. Invaded means conquer or captured India's northwestern frontier in 326 BCE. Okay, now the next. This is the picture of Emperor Alexander. Okay. Next, on the way, Alexander met with forceful opposition from the local Indian kings. He defeated them all and successfully reached the Punjab. So Alexander defeated all the enemies on his way and successfully he reached Punjab. Okay. Next. However, in this invasion, his army had to suffer severe hardship. The soldiers were eager to go back home. They rebelled against Alexander and he was forced to turn back. This means students, the soldiers were eager to go home. So they rebelled against Alexander. Rebel means resisted, or you can say bandakhori. Okay, or vidroh kiya in Hindi. Okay, so they rebelled against Alexander and Alexander was forced to turn back because in this invasion his army had to suffer several hardship. So his soldiers or his army had to suffer severe hardship. Okay. Next, he therefore appointed Greek officers to administer the conquered territories. They were called satraps. He started his return journey but died on the way back in 323 BCE at Babylon. Today Babylon is in Iraq. So students, Alexander therefore appointed Greek officers to administrate the conquered territories and they were called satraps. Okay, and Alexander started his return journey but on the way back he died in 323 BCE at Babylon and today Babylon is in Iraq. Okay, now the next. Alexander's campaign led to an increase in the trade between India and the Western world. The historians who accompanied Alexander introduced India to the Western world through their writings. So the campaign of Alexander led to an increase in the trade between India and the Western world. And the historians who accompanied means who followed or who went with Alexander introduced India to the Western world through their writings. Okay. Next, Greek sculpture influenced Indian art, giving rise to the Gandhara school of art. The Greek kings minted characteristic coins. On one side, the coin had a picture of the king who had minted the coin, and on the other side, a picture of a Greek god. So the Greek sculptures, sculptures, yes, influenced Indian art. Okay, means our Indian art were influenced by Greek sculpture and giving rise to the Gandhara school of art. The Greek kings minted characteristic coins, and on those coins one side of the coin had a picture of that king who had minted the coin, and on the other side the picture of their Greek god was been printed. Okay, so the name of the king was also written on the coin. Alexander's coins were of the same type. Later, Indian kings also started minting similar coins. So Alexander's coins were of the same types, as one side the king's picture and on the other side the picture of the Greek god. Okay, and later on even our Indian kings also started minting similar coins. Okay, now the next you can see this picture. See Alexander's silver coin, both sides. So both sides they have shown. One side, see, Alexander's picture is there, and the next side you can see they have shown the Greek god. So now we are going to see the Maurya Empire. Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya founded the Maurya Empire. People were tired of the tyrannical rule of the Nanda king of Magadha, Dhanananda. So now we are going to study about the Maurya Empire, and in that Chandragupta Maurya we are going to learn. And Chandragupta Maurya founded the Maurya Empire, and students, people were very tired of the tyrannical rule. Tyrannical means atyachari in Hindi. Okay, means unjust rule of the Nanda king of Magadha. The king was Dhanananda. So the next, Chandragupta Maurya brought it to an end and established his own rule in Magadha around 325 BCE. He won Avanti and Saurashtra and began to extend the boundaries of his empire. So now Chandragupta Maurya brought it to the end and he established his own rules in Magadha, and that was around 325 BCE. And Chandragupta Maurya won Avanti and Saurashtra and began to extend the boundaries of his empire. Okay. Now the next, after Alexander's death, a struggle for power began among the satraps he had appointed. Seleucus Nicator was Alexander's general. He became the king of Babylon after Alexander's death. Means after Alexander's death, a struggle for power had begun among his satraps which he had appointed. And Seleucus Nicator was Alexander's general, and Seleucus became the king of Babylon after Alexander's death. Okay. He invaded the northwest frontier region of India and the Punjab. Chandragupta Maurya successfully resisted his aggression. Means Seleucus invaded the northwest frontier region of India and Punjab, and Chandragupta Maurya was successful in resisted his aggression. Means resisted means virodh and aggression means akraman in Hindi. Okay. So Chandragupta Maurya was successfully resisted by his aggression. Now the next, the defeat of Seleucus Nicator lead to the inclusion of the northwest region of Kabul, Gandhara and Herat in the Maurya Empire. Means after the death of Seleucus Nicator, the regions of northwest like Kabul, Kandahar and Herat in the Maurya Empire they were included. Okay. Next, Megasthenes, Seleucus Nicator's ambassador, stayed back at Chandragupta Maurya's court. His book Indica is an important source for the study of India during the Maurya period. So students, Megasthenes means Seleucus Nicator's ambassador stayed back at Chandragupta Maurya's court, and his book that was Indica is an important source for the study of India during the Maurya period. Okay. Next, there is an inscription stating that Emperor Chandragupta Maurya had built a dam called Sudarshan near Junagadh in Gujarat state. Means this dam called Sudarshan near Junagadh in Gujarat was built by Emperor Chandragupta Maurya, and there is an inscription stating this. Okay. Now what we have learned? We have learned the Greek Emperor Alexander's invasion, then the Maurya Empire. Okay. And now we will do activity match the column. Question is given with 4 options. We are going to find the right option. Emperor Alexander. A. Ambassador of Seleucus Nicator. B. Emperor of Greece. C. Roman Emperor. And D. Emperor of Magadha. So what will be our answer? And the answer is B. Emperor of Greece. Emperor Alexander. B. Emperor of Greece. Okay. Now the next. Second, Megasthenes. A. Ambassador of Seleucus Nicator. B. Emperor of Greece. C. Roman Emperor. And D. Emperor of Magadha. So what will be the answer? Yes, ambassador of Seleucus Nicator. Megasthenes. A. Ambassador of Seleucus Nicator. Third, Emperor Ashoka. A. Ambassador of Seleucus Nicator. B. Emperor of Greece. C. Roman Emperor. And D. Emperor of Magadha. So what will be your answer? Yes, the Emperor of Magadha. Emperor Ashoka. The Emperor of Magadha. So students, that's all for today. Sai Ram. Thank you.